Yep, that's me. On last week's episode, this is where I ended. A full day's digging, I think from 9 in the morning to almost 7 at night. I had had enough. I really just needed to grab my strength back, get something to eat and go to sleep, and wake up and try to tackle it the next day with a better understanding of how I was going to get myself out. Honestly, it was a position where I was getting close to touching the SOS button. This is the second day of digging. Anyway, sit back and watch how the story unfolds. Good morning, guys. You can see the sun's just coming up. I wasn't going to shoot into that. Kind of a situation where I need to be more vigilant about my time than anything else. The snow's definitely a lot more frozen today because it's so early. So I'm basically going to get to it. Just so you know, this D-ring right here is something I carry in the back of the trailer in the hitch in the back side. That way if you never needed to reverse recovery, you can pull it backwards. Well, I'm going to take this and supplement it on that hitch, and then I'll hook my winch to it, fold the trailer leg down that actually supports the trailer leg when you're parked. You know, the wheel, the rolling wheel, fold it backwards, and then basically I'm going to attempt to winch it all the way to where he is right now, and then there's a little shallower spot where there's a little bit less snow. I may even go a little farther. And then I'm going to try to basically pick it up, get it back on its leg, hook it up, and then get the Gladiator turned around, and then try to get out of here. Unfortunately, I would like to go back that way, but there's no way to turn around with the trailer. So, if I can get up and going, I think it'll help our situation. We go down dramatically in elevation. Right now we're at 8,500. I think going on the backside of these woods, we could be down to like 5,000 pretty quick. So, welcome to episode 2. Stuck in dangerous situations. Talk to you soon. All right, guys, sorry I'm not looking so fresh and so clean. Yesterday was my shower day, but obviously that got postponed. So situation got a little worse. I got the trailer turned around like you guys saw, or drugged to where I wanted. I got backed out of there and up on the hill. I'm about to turn around and back down to it and hook up, but the only problem is when I got up here, I went ahead and just parked the Jeep and walked on the trail about 1.5 miles, and it gets bad enough where you can't even see the trails. So definitely not going that way, which means we got to go back through that stuff. So yeah. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get down there to the trailer. I'm going to have to get it up to here, to where I'm at now, which is about 1/4 mile away. Get it turned around, and then try to make it back through that stuff. Because at least that way I know what's coming, and I've already been there, and it's not the unknown. And there's only patches of stuff that I drove through yesterday, and most of the time I wasn't even in 4-wheel drive. So that's the plan. I'll check back in with you when I get something done. Stay tuned. So I got the truck hooked up to the trailer, back down. Like I said, I walked 2 miles the direction we're facing now, and it just got deeper. So, which is funny because it's lower elevation. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get this thing down there, and just over the ridge, like I was showing you guys, about a quarter mile, there's a place that's 6 to 8 inches deep, not real deep. I'll try to use that to kind of snake this thing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and get it turned around. And then I'm gonna have to bomb back this trail, but I'm not gonna go the whole way in the trail that I dug. I'm gonna go about 3/4 of the way and then cut off, and there's a ridge line that runs, and I walked it. It's, you know, the snow's probably 2 or 3 inches deep right there, 4 at some places, sometimes 8, but nothing dramatic. Going back into that road, I mean, we know it's, you know, 3 foot in places. So I'm gonna try to hit that ridge line, just bombed out, and then aim right at that big puddle we were at yesterday that we tried to avoid, thinking it was gonna be terrible, and try to hit that. It's all ice, because once I get on the other side of that, it's all pretty shallow. And then if you remember, just past this hill behind me is where somebody had gone in with a snowcat or something and cut that big blade through it. So hopefully I'll be able to come through there and get up that side. And then there's a couple sketchy spots going back that way for sure, but at least I know where it is, and at least I've seen dirt in between that snow area where there's no dirt going this way, none. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll check back in with you later. We made it up. It was a lot harder than I thought, a lot sketchier than I thought. That trailer was going everywhere. Yeah, a little concerning, because now I've got to go back through it. But I got no choice. The only thing I mean, we were banging stuff. I don't want to break anything, because then we're dead in the water. But that's kind of where we're at. I'll see what we can do from here. Okay, I'm worn out. It's crazy. This has been hard. This is like 10 days at my gym, all in 24 hours. There's no real way to go around getting turned around, so I just went for it and shot up through a hill and cut down and through some trees to come downward down onto the trail so I'd have momentum. And I ended up hitting a huge branch, probably 6-8 inches in diameter, with the top front right corner of the Jeep. And I hadn't, you know, got 7,000 miles on this, didn't have a chip on it when everybody's complaining about all these chips. And well, I went from chip to I got spider cracks. So now is the hard part, right? So I'm just so unsure about how to attack it, you know, like, do I attack it going to the way I was thinking, because I think that's our best route. But I'm just ready to get out of here, man. I'm ready to get back to dirt, or at least to a road that I can navigate, and something that'll take me to some enchiladas. Like, then I need a shower. This is rough. It's different when you got somebody with you, and right now I'm just letting the truck cool off, because that's a lot of pressure on this thing when I'm hammering him that hard, going uphill through this deep ass snow, pulling this trailer, and now turned around, and I'm gonna have to go back the other way doing the same thing. So I'm just making sure it's cool, and you know, nothing's messed up. I get up and I walk around. I had to pull that big branch off the trailer, but I get out every time and I assess everything, check all the tires. Like right now we're sitting at 215, cooling down, trans temp 195, and oil temp's 221. That's all pretty warm considering it's 10 degrees outside. So right now I'm just kind of getting my mind right, making sure I know which track I'm going to take, so that when I hit it, I can just hit it. And the one thing is, we'll have some momentum coming downhill, so if I can just get to that mud puddle, it should be a whole lot easier. That's all I'm shooting for, so hang on.
So in the midst of me going back the fourth time on the trail, I hit something in the snow that I couldn't see, and it flipped the trailer. And at the same time, I see these guys coming down the road. So is God good or what? Thank you. So check this out, guys. That is dirt. Now I've got a lot of snow in front of me, but I don't have very far to go. I've got about another mile on this trail to get up to the top of Big Bear, or Bear's Ears, and then from Bear's Ears, it's kind of hit or miss through the snow. Luckily, those guys came through with the snowcat. If you don't think God is good now, you better think he's good now, because, or before, but you better think he is good now, because again, I just got it over. I was going good. We were getting it out, and I mean, you saw what happened, right? We looked, those two guys and I, Daryl and Robert, Daryl and Robert, helped me get out and flipped it right over, no problem. I can't believe, I just can't believe this, guys. So anyway, as you guys can understand, there's not gonna be much more to this episode. I'm gonna work my way back I think it's 9 miles back to the road, the highway, and I'm gonna head into a town where I can get something to eat and sit down and collect my thoughts and make a couple phone calls. There's some people that are super worried. I will say this, food for thought, all the newbies and all the veterans. I made a rookie mistake, and when I started seeing that much snow accumulation at elevation, and guys, we consider anything elevation, anything above 6,500 feet. When I started seeing accumulation at 6,500 foot, I should have turned around, because generally they get twice as much, and they'll never show you on the snow reports what gets somewhere up in the mountains. It drifts, and it collects in a different manner. And so if you're doing winter camping, remember, if you're above 6,500 foot of elevation and you're already starting to hit, say 6 to 10 inches of snow, if it gets any deeper than that, you just need to stop and turn around, because you could have happen what happened here. Luckily, and I know I'm rambling, but luckily I'm built out. So everybody that does this, don't let people make fun of you and tell you that you don't need all that stuff and all that gear isn't needed. I needed everything on this vehicle that was on this vehicle. And I absolutely couldn't have made it through what I just did without it. Now, did they come help me? Yes. But I was in the process of unhooking him. I was going to pull him back out on the road, winch him back over, and then drive through it. So be prepared to take everything you think you need and study your skills. Make sure you're constantly working on your skills. But with that, guys, I can't wait to hear the comments. Do me a favor, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Means a lot. To Robert and Daryl, I couldn't thank you enough. We'll see you on the next time. So, I finally made it back and around to all the dirt and past the Bear's Ears. It was pretty scary. There were some downhills that were really slick. But right here, I wanted to say another thanks to these guys, Robert and Daryl from Frontier Communications. They weren't even with the Forest Service. They weren't even with Parks and Wildlife. This is just something they do, and I couldn't think of enough. Anyway, gentlemen, my hat's off to you guys. I couldn't say thank you 1,000 times more. Anyway, thanks, guys.
Much better night tonight, guys. Wow. What a day.
As you can see, I'm super happy. I was starting to get really worried. And I know I didn't get some of the footage that you guys wanted to see me trying to rush out and run in and just beating up the truck trying to get it out. But I was really starting to worry, and so I was more concerned about trying to basically just keep you guys in a loop, but keep me focused on getting things done. After a day, and now starting a day and a half of being up in the snow and then flipping the trailer, I was really starting to worry. Anyway, please regard what I said about studying your skills and packing all that you need. Thanks again, and food for thought, I burn all my wood this night.